Welcome to the Padre Cícero Romão Batista House Museum located in Juazeiro do Norte. This space preserves the memory, belongings, and daily life of the servant of God, affectionately called Padim by the pilgrims, who to this day come to this land moved by faith. I invite you to walk with me through each room of this house, which is not only a museum, but a true sanctuary of living memory. Shall we begin? Let's start with the first room. This is where Padre Cícero's wake took place, right in front of the third window from left to right. This space witnessed the immense outpouring of popular grief that swept through Juazeiro do Norte in 1934, when around 60,000 people came to bid farewell to their spiritual godfather. In the same room, you'll also find Padre Cícero's private oratory, with objects that accompanied his daily devotions. On the walls are portraits of his parents, Joaquim Romão Batista and Joaquina Vivência Romana, representing the family roots that shaped Padim. Joaquim, a humble man of strong faith, and Dona Joaquina, a devoted mother, molded young Cícero's character from an early age. To the left, newspapers from that time report his death and funeral, alongside a rare photograph of Padre already ill. This item not only inform but also transport us back to the atmosphere of that era when Juazeiro mourned the loss of its spiritual guide. Now let's move to the second room. Here stands the bed where Padre Cícero passed away. Interestingly, for most of his life, he slept in a hammock, a deeply rooted northeastern tradition. Only during his final 2 years, following medical advice, he began using a bed. This detail reveals both his simplicity and his obedience regarding the care of his fragile health. This room also displays portraits and photographs of people close to Padre Cícero, such as Beata Mocinha, his housekeeper and loyal friend, Terezinha, a former enslaved woman who became his adopted sister, Beata Maria de Araújo, a central figure in the Eucharistic miracle of Juazeiro, and his sister, Angélica Vivência Romana, remembered with affection on this wall. There is also a portrait of Pope Pius X, recalling Padim's deep bond of the Church despite the hardships he faced. Photographs of the other important figures appear here as well. Observing them, we notice that Padre Cícero was not tall. He measured only 160 meters. We also see images from the wakes of his mother, his sister, and his own, alongside a wardrobe containing his hat, stand, and clothing from his daily life. In the third room, we find a simply yet evocative scene, Padre Cícero resting in a hammock, reminding us of his fondness for this Northeast custom. At the back are his trunk and wardrobe containing personal garments. Prominently displayed are his liturgical vestments, his cassock and staff, the dalmatic worn, and his diaconate and the asperger's cape. In another cabinet, his liturgical objects are preserved. A Roman missal from the era when masses were celebrated in Latin before Vatican II, candlesticks, a thurible, a chalice, and a paten. Each of these objects speaks of his profound connection to the liturgy, which for him was not merely ritual, but prayer made visible through service to the people. In the next room, at the center, we find Padre Cícero's famous capello hat, his inseparable companion on daily walks alongside his rosary, a sign of his constant prayer life. In the cabinets are his staff, cape, and everyday clothing. We also find his record player and small organ, showing his love for music. For Padim, music was also a form of prayer and joy. Another highlight is the festive tablecloth used for banquets, a symbol of his hospitality. Padre Cícero loved welcoming guests, sharing meals, and transforming the table into a place of fellowship and blessing. In the fifth room, we find a collection of objects not directly belonging to Padre Cícero, but donated by pilgrims carrying great historical value. Among them are coins and banknotes from the Brazilian Empire, as well as national and foreign currencies from Argentina, England, Spain, and even the former Soviet Union, alongside indigenous artifacts. This space helps us understand the broader cultural and historical context before, during, and after Padre Cícero's lifetime, illustrating exchanges among peoples, economies, and cultures. Arriving the main hall of the house, we encounter the famous Table of Miracles, the centerpiece of the museum. According to popular tradition, those with few sins could lift it easily, while those burdened by many could not. Today the table is fixed to the floor to prevent accidents, but a new practice emerged, walking under it 3 times as a sign of purification and grace. In this hall, we also see objects from Padre Cícero's daily life. His crockery, household utensils, a millstone, and pestles used for grinding seeds. Going back through the hallway and entering the second room on the left, just past our little shop, which we'll visit later, we reach Padre Cícero's library. Here you will find books, documents, his breviary and prayer books, as well as items like stirrups, reminding us that Padim often traveled long distances on horseback to serve his people. Also in this room is a portrait of José Joaquim Teles de Marrocos, his cousin and faithful friend, an important figure in Juazeiro's history. In the next room ahead, we find kettles, sewing machines from the period, and a photo album donated in 1994 by Plínio Pompeu, a Ceará-born engineer and politician, featuring images of mines, warriors, and excavations in Ceará. This room also displays the chess set Padre Cícero acquired in Rome in 1898, book stands, fountain pens, eyeglass cases, and jewelry boxes. Another highlight is the confessional, where Padre Cícero patiently listened to the faithful and his cherished rocking chair, carefully preserved. Shall we move on to the next room? This space is particularly moving. Here we find the memories of pilgrims, testimonies of graces received through Padim's intercession. Photos, clothes, hats, and wax ex-votos shaped like body parts express faith and gratitude. This room reveals the deep spiritual intimacy between the people and Padre Cícero, which remains alive to this day. Now to one of the most intriguing rooms. Right at the entrance, we see the image of Padre Cícero at the window, recalling the affectionate wave with which he greeted pilgrims. Here, too, are artistic paintings including the well-known The Good Marriage and The Bad Marriage, which speak not only of matrimony, but also of the spiritual life. The Good Marriage symbolizes fidelity, charity, and union with Christ. The Bad Marriage represents pride, vanity, and lust, leading to ruin. Also in this room is an image of Saint John Bosco, founder of the Salesian congregation, greatly admired by Padre Cicero. Both share the mission of caring for the poor, for the youth. Inspired by Don Bosco, Padre Cicero longed for the presence of the Salesians in Juazeiro, entrusting them with the continuation of his mission. Remember the hall with the table of miracles? Let's return there. As our tour continues from that central point, from there, turning left, we reach the Our Lady room, filled with Marian images under many titles from around the world. These were donated by Father de Montier, a Salesian of Don Bosco, in memory of his mother, Carminha Fernandes Távora. From the Our Lady room, we move to one of the last rooms of the house, where we encounter a peculiar collection. Various taxidermied animals, birds, wild creatures, and even aquatic species. The most striking of them all is the anaconda, Scuri, now an icon of the museum, drawing the curiosity of visitors. The popular story says that a man, unarmed, in the forest faced the snake and, calling upon Padre Cicero, managed to kill it. He brought it as a sign of grace received. But the real story is different. The man had killed the snake, stuffed it with gold and precious stones to smuggle them past customs without suspicion, and brought it to Juazeiro claiming devotion. After removing the valuable, he enriched it himself but still declared it a grace, since he had prayed to Padre Cicero for his plan to succeed. This curious tale makes us reflect on popular devotion and how people, in their simplicity, relate life events to the intersection of the servant of God. Exiting this room and walking toward the garden, we find another mysterious spot, the underground chamber, discovered only in 2009 during restoration work. Measuring about 10 meters long and 3 meters high, its purpose remains uncertain. Some believe it was an emergency hideout. Others think it was a weapons depot or shelter during difficult times. Its mystery still fills visitors' imaginations. Finally, we arrive at the ecological garden, a space that recalls Padre Cicero's concern for nature and creation. Padim was a strong advocate of simple living and environmental preservation, always encouraging people to value the land and its fruits. Today, this garden is a place of rest for families and pilgrims who visit the house museum. With its shade and cool air, it invites silence, rest, and contemplation. Here, too, is our peacock aviary, a highlight for visitors with its unique beauty. On the way back into the house, we find the room with Padre Cicero's well, from which he drew water for daily use, a reminder of his simple and austere life, always faithful to what was essential. Further along is a special room displaying an authentic replica of Milan Cathedral, one of Europe's most celebrated Gothic masterpieces. This replica recalls Padre Cicero's 1898 journey to Italy. At that time, he sought rehabilitation with the Holy See, as the Diocese of Crato opposed him. In Rome, Padre Cicero met Pope Leo XIII and came into contact with Dom Bosco's Salesians. It was on this trip that he brought the model of the cathedral, dreaming of building a great church in Juazeiro do Norte. Although the project was never realized, when the Salesians eventually arrived in Juazeiro, they symbolically carried on that dream through the construction of the Bom Jesus do Horto Church. There, a beautiful image unites Saint John Bosco and Padre Cícero. Dom Bosco, with open arms, seems to say, "Here is your dream fulfilled. We continue your work." Thus, the Salesians, spiritual heirs of Dom Bosco's mission and faithful friends of Padre Cícero's memory, continue to this day keeping Padin's dream alive in Juazeiro do Norte and beyond. Here we conclude our guided visit to Padre Cícero's House Museum. Thank you for joining us in this space of faith, history, and memory. May Padin's example of simplicity, courage, and devotion inspire each of us to live closer to God and to one another. We wish you a safe return. May God bless, protect, and guide your journey. Go in peace under the intercession of our Padre Cícero Romão Batista.